All right, another crazy day is in the books. I have so much to review. I'm sorry that I really have been just overwhelmed the past few days. Those of you who have emailed me questions, I know that I want to answer all your questions, but I also know that it's physically impossible because there are so many of you guys not watching my DVDs, namely my How to Make Millions DVD and my Spikeability DVD. And if you're truly, confused and you want the basics, penny stocking and penny stocking part deux, please watch those DVDs. These patterns are not unique. I know that a lot of you guys think that they are. I know that most people in the world think that they don't happen. I've been cataloging them and trading them for 2 decades now. So they're going to keep happening. And I physically cannot answer all of your questions in chat, in email, in Instagram messages, in Facebook messages, on private messages. I mean, there's way too many of you guys asking questions already answered in DVDs that you have not, for whatever reason, watched. I know that you're going to be pissed because you're like, oh, you're just telling me to watch DVDs. Yeah, it's the foundation. And you challenge students should be watching all of the webinars that we have archived, not just for me, but Michael Good, Tim Grattani, Mark Crook. We all trade these exact same kinds of patterns, and we trade them differently. So I missed pretty much every big winner today also. I'm not afraid to admit it. Every now and then I miss. On Friday, I nailed one of the biggest winners, JVA. So just want to keep all of that in mind before I get into today's review, because it was just an awesome day. Let me go over it. So CYCC was one of the big winners. Just insane morning spike. Congrats to longs. VBLT was another great morning spike. I actually missed the market open. This would have been my play had I been there. I had a breakfast meeting. I'm also working on a TV show, in case you guys don't realize. I have a lot going on. But at the market open, all you basically want to do is buy hot stocks that are percent gainers. You can find them. They're talked about in the chat room. Get in my chat room between 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and you can see all of the hottest stocks. VBLT was easily the most talked about, and right at 9:30, if I had been here, I'm guesstimating, I definitely would not have held it all the way because it's choppy. My guess is I probably would have bought 2,000 shares here at 570 and sold them at like 605. And that would have been my $700 profit. That's my kind of a trade. There's no way I would have held till 650 and made like 75 cents or $1 a share, but you could have. I know myself. I know that I'm not the perfect trader, but I also know what patterns I profit off of. So VBLT was the gimme then. I totally missed, what was the big winner? HMNY. At around 11 a.m., they announced this merger with Red Zone, this wannabe Waze. Red Zone doesn't have the best reviews. It doesn't have that many users. It's just a low float play. So all of you guys who are low float companies, I know that many CEOs watch my video lessons, or if you're a PR, a publicist for a low float company, do a merger with a hot app. And you'll see your stock spike, and it's total bullshit, and it's meaningless, and it'll probably fail in the long run, but it's beautiful. 1 to 10 in 3 hours. And now here it's at 7. So I'm not chasing it. My play actually was JVA again. Those of you who know me know that I like to dip buy earnings winners. And I didn't want to dip buy it because it, on Friday into the close, because it could not hold the key 450 level. 450 is an important level. This was the breakout back on my birthday in April. So it needs to hold the multi-month breakout. And today, let me show Friday and today. So Friday, got all the way up to 6. But it came down here and it was hanging around this 430, 440 level, and it just couldn't really break out. So a lot of you were like, why weren't you long over the weekend? I just wasn't confident that it could hold 450. Today, we got that confirmation. So, it was at 450. It actually faded a little to 430. I bought it right around 450 because it was right around that key level. And guess what? It held 450 all day. Even at the lows here, 453, and the low here was like 455. So it's holding 450. So my whole goal with an earnings winner is to buy the multi-month breakout and buy again if and when it holds that level. So it held 450. I was in the 450 range, and I had patience all day. A lot of you guys wonder why I'm in and out of trades so quickly sometimes. It's because there's no safety net, because, I can't quantify where the support is. With this one, it's very easy. 450 was support. It held it all day. And I actually just got back from my dog, picking her up at the groomer, and I found some of my order to sell got executed in the 480s. Nothing huge, but my whole goal was 480 to 5, so I made my 40 cents a share. That's pretty good, and it's low risk because I'm buying where the stock should be supported. So a lot of you guys with questions, why am I buying such a boring stock? There's so many more exciting stocks. Sometimes boring earnings plays can do very well, or boring contract wins. Remember CLF. So CLF was another play that I was buying right in here at 4 and then at 430, and I did not have the patience to hold. I made 30 cents a share my first time. I think I lost like 10 cents a share the second time, and now, it's nearly $1 a share winner. So these earnings winners and contract winners sometimes take time. My other play right now is AMRS, which is at 66 cents. I'm in at 64 cents. Terrible, terrible long-term chart, so I have a very small position, but they announced a nice contract with Johnson & Johnson, which is, a gigantic company. So this could be a multi-day runner. All I want is 70 cents. And on JVA, we have this nice big bidder here. There's absolutely no way for me to lose buying an earnings winner when it holds support. AMRS, this is a contract winner, but the chart isn't that great. There's no, I guess you could say there's a multi-month breakout right here above like 63, a multi-week breakout, but this is not normally my kind of chart. This is just speculative because Johnson & Johnson is such a big deal. But congrats to all of you guys who wrote up HMNY, which was the big winner today, or CYCC was the big morning spiker, or VBLT, which is the one I probably would have bought. Plays galore. In case you haven't gotten it, this sector is on fire. MOC also, totally forgot about that. From 3 to 5, all in the first minute or two. You gotta be prepared. That's why I make these video lessons. That's why I make these DVDs. That's why we do so many live webinars, so that you can study and prepare ahead of time. Because by the time, MOC, if you're buying this right here, at 9:30, the top is what, 9:31. So you have basically 5 minutes to double your money. And if you're a minute or 2 minutes late, you miss out. And if you're 3 minutes late, you get in at the top and you lose. And you're like, how is everyone making money? It's because you're late. It's because you're not prepared. So get prepared. And I'm glad that even if you didn't profit today, seeing plays like HMNY really helped to show you what's possible here. This is why I love penny stocks. This is why it's hilarious that so many people, hate on penny stocks, because all I see are these patterns. I agree, you should hate on penny stocks if you trade the wrong patterns, but if you focus on the right ones, you see that there is a ton of upside. So I got to congratulate so many students. Here's Sergey, got in VBLT at 518, out at 580, and he says hashtag study hard. I like it. Here is Caesar. I'm going to give him a follow. Third trade, small account in VBLT at 541, out at 650. Made $1 a share. Awesome job. Studying is paying off. Here were some people in the chat room. James Dean made $2 a share on CYCC. And then Rural Jr. made 40 cents a share on VBLT. Here is Edwin, made $1 a share on VBLT. Here is Catlin, just joined Twitter, and I like this. He's a U.S. Army soldier, so thank you for your service, Catlin. We really, can't appreciate everything that you do and your sacrifice, and to all the armed soldiers and armed forces out there, really, you guys, we owe so much to. We really take a lot of the freedom that you provide for us for granted, and it's part of my job to help people not do that, to help people maximize their freedom. So I'm proud that, I can teach this soldier who, I know soldiers aren't paid enough, so he made only 50 bucks, but it's the lessons, it's the learning, it's the experience. So good job, Catlin. This was a tweet that I had. I just wanted to share this. You know, I can tell a lot of lessons and stories with tweets and Twitter. So I'm exhausted. Forgive me. I'm stuttering all over the place. It's been such a long day, but I'm thankful for the entire journey. You know, I've had a lot of success, but I've also had a lot of failure. You know, I've never been truly bankrupt, but once upon a time, my hedge fund lost a third of its value, and that wiped out all of my credibility, even though it was on an investment and not on trading. But that loss helped me solidify these trading rules that I now teach. So don't be afraid of losses and failures. They help mold you. And, you know, now I like to just take pictures of cash and motivate you to show you what's possible. Here is Varun. I love this. I'm going to give him a follow because this is one of my quotes where it's okay to be wrong, but it's not okay to stay wrong. So when I'm trading a stock like JVA today, right, it has a few different times. You got to keep everything in perspective. This is why I like showing this chart. You know, it basically double bottomed off 430-ish, but it had a few times where it could have broken through 450. If it had broken through 450, and I was long like 2,000 shares at right around 450, 453-ish, if it had broken 450, I would be cutting losses because it would not be holding the multi-month support. But, you know, it spiked in the morning, then it consolidated. The whole day consolidation was tough for me to hold, but it wasn't that tough because it was holding above 450. So remember that. Go in with a plan and really look at what the stock is doing. And JVA, you know, is now spiking near 480, 490. And I would love to see the fives tomorrow. Earnings winners can keep going on day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Let me show you another earnings winner. It doesn't all have to happen in one day. Here's AMD, you know, on like what, day like 30, it broke out past the first day. EHTH was another earnings winner that I was buying in the 11s. And, you know, after a month, it went to the 14s. MITK I was buying in the 6s, and it went to the 9s over several days. Some earnings winners don't make it. TISA, you know, had the one spike, and then it failed. But it's still holding up above, you know, where it was before earnings. So it's not an exact science. I'm not going to be right every time. But if you're wrong, you cut your losses. So thank you, Varun, for helping me explain that. Here's Justin. I love this. You know, he has a whole whiteboard of, you know, rules, lessons learned, how many shares, you know, how many trades he can do. Look, actual dollars, you know, on Friday he made $500. Here are stocks to watch. He's doing some paper trades too. He's got some lessons. He's got some chart patterns. This is awesome. Good job, Justin. This is just fantastic. Here's Javier, sorry. He's up $743 today. Here's Chris, made almost $1 a share on HMNY, and I'm sure Chris is kicking himself because it went to $10 a share. If you make 25% this quickly, look at this. He's getting in at like 12:04, 12:05 p.m., and then he's selling at 6 minutes later, and he's making 25% on his money. That's damn good. Don't you dare feel bad, Chris Brown. Only feel bad about your name and what it means to women everywhere. Here's a little interview I did with Cody Willard. Cody was on Fox a few years ago, and him and I have remained friends for several years, so we did a good little interview. So check it out. It's on my Twitter feed. I retweeted it. And then High Tech. I have so many people. There's way too many tweets. High Tech Redneck made 32% on his account in the first 3 weeks, and this is a nice trade on HMNY. You know, investing $3,200 and making roughly $1,400. Freaking awesome. Good job. Eric Russell, he's building his house with his trading profits. He made $800 today. Wall Street Hammer, I love this. Wow, easy 2K on HMNY. You got to love it when it's an easy 2,000. That's the beauty of this market right now. So I'm losing my voice. I got to go do my watch list, but congrats to everybody on HMNY. What was the other one? CY, CC, Big Spiker, VBLT, Big Spiker, you know, and just so many more. Whew. Prepare, guys. Get prepared and get some rest tonight. We got another long day tomorrow. Thank you.